Alright, let's talk about CJ Stroud. You might be thinking, wait a second, how are you going to make a film study on CJ Stroud? Didn't he only throw 4 passes in this game? Well, you know what? Even in a very small sample size, which it was, I still think there's enough to warrant a video. It's worth talking about how he played, as, for Stroud, it's been a very interesting preseason. A lot was made during his first preseason performance where it wasn't a particularly great preseason performance. It wasn't. Now, personally, I wasn't as low on it as some other people were, but most people weren't exactly thrilled with it. However, I think that he had a real bounce back performance in his second preseason game and another very good performance in a very limited role here in this one. So overall, I actually think this has been a positive preseason for him. And let's talk about just what happened. We'll start off with this play. It's going to be a zone coverage play, cover 3 zone, and you have a receiver running a deep route. So, okay, one-on-one matchup on the outside. Sure, let's see what can happen here. Stroud is going to take the snap. He, doesn't even immediately look over there. He kind of looks a little bit underneath before looking to where he wanted to throw it to. That got the safety out of position. So this is a true one-on-one matchup, in part because Stroud did some nice stuff with his eyes here. And as you see, I would say this was a catchable ball that just wasn't quite able to be complete. It was close, and maybe you could have argued throwing it a little bit further might have been a little better, but I don't know. I don't think that was a bad throw by any means. It was a catchable ball that wasn't caught, That's all you can really do is give your receiver a chance as a quarterback, and in my opinion, I think CJ Stroud absolutely did that on that play. This play was an interesting one, in my opinion, so this is going to be 3rd down and 7. This is actually the play after the one I just showed you, and it's going to be man coverage that the New Orleans Saints are in. So, okay, 3rd down and 7, got to try to find someone who's going to get past the first down marker and is winning their one-on-one matchup. Right off the bat, CJ Stroud looks further down the field, doesn't love what he sees right away, and is instead going to try and scramble. Now, looking at what we can see right here, number 83, the tight end for Houston, was kind of open. Maybe he could have made this throw now, but it's a little tough because he wasn't open when Stroud had to scramble outside the pocket, so Stroud would have to kind of plant his feet now or make a across his body throw, and he just doesn't see him. Again, it's easy when you get to pause the tape to say, oh, wow, that guy was open right there. But, Stroud can't see the entire field, so it's just a little bit more difficult. So, okay, maybe that would have been the perfect thing for him to do, but he doesn't see that. So what else are his options here? Well, he could run or he could pass. Simple enough, right? 3rd down and 7. It's man coverage. So there are safeties deep who could come over and try to make a play, but everyone else has a guy they have to cover. They can't abandon their guy. So for Stroud, who now is completely past the defensive line, he could try to run and pick up the first down. And to be honest, I kind of wish he would. Now, it's preseason, so maybe he just doesn't want to run and risk taking a hit here. But in the regular season, these are the kind of times I would like to see him use his legs. In fairness, he's going to make a really well-done off-balance throw that was, again, a catchable ball that wasn't complete. I'm not saying these balls are like, just drops or anything like that, but they're balls that could be caught. And so I don't really have an issue with him making that decision because it nearly worked and, probably could have worked in that scenario. I do kind of wish, though, and this is kind of more of just like a thing about Stroud in general, because, again, it is worth mentioning, there was a safety coming in. It wasn't like, it wasn't on the screen when I paused it, but there was a safety coming in. I still think Stroud would have made the first down had he ran. I think that had a higher likelihood of succeeding. And just in general, I wish Stroud ran more. He's such a good runner of the football. He doesn't utilize it as much as, in my opinion, he should. But that being said, still a very big positive to show on this play that he can make that off-balance throw very accurate. So it's not a negative play by any means, just an interesting one. Also going over to this play, this is going to be you see the route on the screen and you see how it can work. Kind of a tight end's going to fake as though he's going towards the top of the screen, but then cuts back over the middle. Okay, again, key situation here, 3rd down and 2, so got to pick up a couple of yards, got to get your first completion on today as you're 0 for 2 so far. Right when this play begins, Stroud takes the snap, and he is going to eventually look over towards a tight end who's about to cut back over the middle. A little bit of a longer route, but you know what? Offensive line doing a good job here. You have, pretty clean pocket, which is definitely good. The question really here is just going to be ball placement. I mean, he doesn't even really have to get it there in a hurry if he doesn't want to. As long as he leads his, receiver enough to be able to make the grab, there's a window. But again, you have to go towards the inside leverage. You have to put this in a spot where hopefully your tight end doesn't just, make the catch, but can maybe get some yards after the catch too. As you see, it is right on the money, and this is something that Stroud really just has success with, is when he has a clean pocket and he has a window to throw it to, it doesn't have to be a huge window, he still makes those throws, and that's kind of, one of the awesome parts about CJ Stroud and why some people, myself included, had him as the number one quarterback in this draft class because of those consistent plays he can make. Also heading over to this play, it's not the highest degree of difficulty play, but like I said, talking about all 4 of his passes he had in this game, it's going to be a play action, and then you're going to have the 2 players kind of run over the middle. Well, okay, simple enough. You can see how it can work out. Let's see if it works out. First, Stroud, I don't know, could have sold that play action a little bit harder, and part of it was just tough because Dameon Pierce, I think, quickly realized, okay, a lot of pressure coming in, has to go and make a block, and he does because he's Dameon Pierce. He's awesome at all aspects of being a running back, so good job by him. But still, feel like Stroud could have helped out a little bit more, really selling the play action, but at the same time, whatever. That I'm nitpicking. There's a receiver open down the field. Part of why these play actions at the goal line can be so perfect is because you just have to be so aggressive as a defensive lineman at the goal line. You can't give up usually a 4-yard gain isn't the end of the world. Here, a 4-yard gain is a touchdown. A 3-yard gain is a touchdown, which is usually a pretty good run defended play. But because the area is cleared out, Stroud has a window to make the throw, but he still has to make it. However, make it he does, right on the money for a touchdown by Houston. So, okay, again, I thought it was a good performance. These 4 plays, it's 4 passes. What can you really say about it? How excited can you really get about 4 passes? All of that stuff, yes, it goes without saying. But you know what? I'm putting it just as additional information of a bigger sample size. That's how I view this stuff. We had more information now, so let's talk about the more information and what that means for Stroud. I'm someone who's a big CJ Stroud fan, not like, personally or anything like that, but just I like his game. I think he's good. And while he definitely showed a tendency in that first game to have some rookie mistakes, and I do think that those will surface at some point during the regular season just because he is a rookie, right? A rookie making rookie mistakes, that's what you expect to see happen. I thought that for the most part, he showed he can be a consistent player and even showed flashes in that first game that I thought kind of went underlooked, and he showed them more consistently in games 2 and 3 that, where people are paying more attention to it. So as a whole, I think this is a very optimistic performance from CJ Stroud, and I certainly think that he is someone who, maybe is even more NFL ready in certain areas than we thought, although definitely is going to have his rawness and is going to take a little bit more time as well, it would seem, in certain areas. So, yeah, that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.